Hi, everyone. This is Jeff Clark at thegoldadvisor.com, and we have a special Pater podcast for you today. Some of you may already know him, but he is now coming on full time with us, and we're very excited. So I'm excited to announce Jeff Valks. He goes by JV, coming on to the Gold Advisor full time. So, JV, thanks for joining me on this video, and thanks for coming on full time. We're really excited for you.
I'm super pumped as well. And viewers of our previous podcasts will see that I'm not wearing a turtleneck today. That was a major mistake.
There you go. Right. Very good. Well, JB, let's start with your professional background so people can know a little bit about you. So tell us what you've done before, because you have some experience that really ties in directly to what we're doing here at the Gold Advisor.
Well, where do I start? It's kind of one of those funny things that when you're in the moment, you think, how did I get here and why am I doing this? Not the gold advisor, but in the moments of the past. But it's funny now in hindsight to look back and watch it all come together. It's like each little piece had to click in to actually make it happen. So in my third year university, I decided I was going to join the army. I always wanted to, and my parents wouldn't let me, but finally I said, I'm going to do it. So in the army, I met a guy who was a journalist, and I told him like, oh, deep down, I would love to be a sports writer. That would be so awesome. I was going to be a teacher, but I was like, sports journalism would be so cool. Host ESPN in Canada, we call it TSN, but it's the same subsidiary. And so that led me to work for Hockey Night in Canada through the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. That led me to TSN Radio, again ESPN. So I was on radio for a couple of years. Cool jobs, didn't pay any money. So because
Yeah.
I was used to writing, say, a new script every 20 minutes for the radio and for Hockey Night, I said, I'm going to go find a writing job, which threw me into advertising headlong. I had to go to night school and get, the certificate for copywriting and advertising and all that kind of background stuff. And it's funny how things go. Um, I wanted out of Toronto. City was busy. City was expensive. Became a plumber, and learned to wrench some pipe and make sense of water lines and all that kind of stuff. Realized not a great idea, especially when it's minus 20 or plus 40. I should say it in American too. Let's say minus 15 and 100 degrees. And
Yeah.
so I went back to advertising. Now, lo and behold, when I was teaching plumbing, they they wanted a course that was going to teach apprentices about money. And I had this long kind of side background in finance. So I designed a program for them, wrote the whole course. It's like a 25-hour course where youngsters can come in, and I teach them anything that I think anybody should learn about money, but particularly young people who are finally coming into some real cash because apprentices do make good money. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's where I sort of come from.
And then you teach that class at a community college, your own curriculum, right?
Yeah, it's that's another one of those situations where you're sitting there going, "How did I end up here? How did I end up here?" Because when they
Yeah.
greenlit the course, I suggested the course and I wrote sort of a rough outline of about 100 things that I would want anybody to know, things that I wanted to know when I was first starting my journey of money learning. And then they said yes, and I was like, I gotta write a course. I gotta
Yeah.
write this fast. So
Right.
yeah, I teach for the college for the plumbers union, and yeah, it's been exciting. We're on year 7 now.
Wow. Good for
Yeah.
you, JB. That's great. Of course, finance ties directly into what we cover here in gold and gold stocks. But let's dive into our industry a little bit more, JV. So, what's your opinion on gold and gold stocks? I mean, there's a lot going on, but what do you think? What's your outlook, and what do you think about gold and gold stocks right now?
Well, it's exciting. It's a phenomenal time to be paying attention to them. That's for sure. It's interesting in my traditional sort of finance, my own investing. I was always taught to avoid the penny plays, right? Because it's always a pharmaceutical company or some tech startup
Right.
that's going to change the world and then disappears, 36 months later, and that's that. And your 36-cent stock has become bupkis, and it's off to the next one. But in kind of doing my research and chatting with you, Jeff, and kind of getting up to speed in the past few, let's say, years, the exciting thing and the interesting thing is, it may be a penny player, But if the company's well led and they're sitting on a solid piece of land and they've got some good experience and the assays start pouring in, well, suddenly a penny stock is not so much a penny stock; it's a 10 bagger,
Yeah,
or
right.
something just as exciting. So the opinions on that, I guess. Listen, I'm not going to tell you where gold's going to go. I'm not going to pretend to try. But my thinking on it is where I used to avoid the penny players. We've got some exciting ones in our portfolio with Gold Advisor,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
just from diving in neck deep into those, it's just like, oh, how did I not see this, 10, 15 years ago? But hey,
Right.
here we are now.
Yeah, here we are now. Great time to be doing this. So, and I really like the column that you started, Dig the Definition. And it's something I didn't think of, but it's like really true because certain things come up that we don't always know what they mean or they have greater implications. And you started that column now, and it's great. You've learned a lot.
That's exactly it. The reason you didn't think about it, Jeff, is because does a fish know what water is?
Yeah,
You're in
right.
this. This is
Very
sort of
good.
your bread and butter. You're at what, 30 some years in the industry, roughly?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So for me, I'm putting together these articles and I want it to be smart and to be fluent. And then all of a sudden, NP5 comes up, NPV5 comes up, and I'm like, what? What are we
Right.
doing here? Or there's different technologies or different sort of lingo that makes sense to somebody who's got a geological background and they've been in the business. But for somebody trying to make a good article, I'm like, well, what is that? Why does that matter? And
Yeah.
I can't
Perfect.
assume that the readers know. So then, of course, I want to make sure that they are informed as well. So it's been fun. It's one of those things. Same with when I'm teaching my class. You think you know it or you think you're familiar with it until you're the one that has to teach it, and that's like, ooh,
Yeah,
I really
right.
have to dig in.
So we're going to continue doing that, by the way, even if it's something we know, if it's something JV already knows, we'll still continue that because we're here to provide not just stock picks, but education on the industry and about what's happening with that company. And of course, the stock. We always talk about the stock. We always disclose it, what our ownership is and things like that. So we will continue that. Hey, JV, before we wrap this up, you have some interesting things in your personal life that people might enjoy hearing. So tell us about that, about your hockey background, your hockey player background.
Yeah, it's been an exciting ride. I'll tell you that much. Most of my good stories not appropriate for the podcast. But if you see me at PDAC and I'm having a beer, well, maybe you'll get a few. In terms of how, just a general overview story that I think is funny. It's how I ended up here with you, Jeff. You're in
Uh-huh.
you're in California and I'm here in Ontario, and it's funny how things come together. So I'll try to synopsis it in a succinct, simple to grasp manner. But there was a girl in high school that I was, we were friends, but I was always attracted to her. It never worked out that we dated or anything, but we stayed in touch as adults. So lo and behold, she was seeing somebody, and I kept saying, let's get a beer, and she's like, I'm seeing somebody. So one night, I guess this guy, they were at a party. He decided to, well,
Yeah.
he had other plans, let's say, to keep it
Yeah.
clean. And sure enough, she calls me the week later and says, "Hey, so by the way, I'm single now. Let's get that beer." And so we kind of dated and went to a Christmas party. And I met Mark, who is Gold Advisor's IT guru. And he kept
Yeah.
telling me about this. He works on this website for this guy. He needs a writer. He needs a writer who knows finance. And I kept saying no. And finally,
That's
after
right.
after some prodding, I finally said yes. I didn't. I just said no because I'm busy. Like there's just things all the time. So I said yes. We met, and lo and behold, one man's indiscretions is another man's gold. So
Yeah, there you
literally, pun
go. I
intended.
guess so.
And
Yeah.
here I am today. We've got a baby on the way. We got a new house, and I got a phenomenal new job. So
Yeah.
be careful what you do after
Yeah.
dark, I guess.
Right. Yeah, we're glad you're here. But JV, we got to go, but you're a very good hockey player. You've even taught it, I believe, right?
I still teach. I'll say this story to anybody who will listen. I was playing hockey once with a guy who's still in the NHL, a guy named Adam Pellick. I'll clean up his language, but we were kind of just playing around, and we played every Wednesday in the summer when he wasn't, in the show. And he looked at me one day and goes, "Where did you learn to skate?" And I just kind of said, and he's like,
Wow.
"You're a better skater than half my team." And I was like, that was the
Oh,
coolest thing.
wow.
And now when I coach skating, I coach adults, I coach kids. Coaching the adults is super fun. And I'll tell the story till the cows come home with the adults of what Adam Pellick said to me that day on the bench. But yeah, it's super fun. And it's honestly, teaching the kids is hilarious. But the adults have this like, they're just keen. They want to sponge up everything. They want to ask you 1,000 questions. And it's a nice way to stay in the game.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, I'll have to be one of your students here one of these times if we get together for a prolonged period of time. So,
Super
okay,
fun.
everyone. So JV is going to work on thegoldadvisor.com, that free letter. He's going to be providing a lot of the updates and insights. I'll be in there as well. But we're the team that's going to work on that free letter. Just as a reminder, those companies are our sponsors. They are supporting the site financially, but they have to be invited. We get a lot of requests, I will say, and we have to say no to a lot of companies that just want to throw money at us and be sponsors. But they have to pass all the 6Ps in the book pay dirt. And if they don't, eh, we can't invite them. They are stocks that we all own. If it's not a stock we would buy, even if it looks good, if we're not going to buy it, we're not going to invite them again. So these are companies that we believe are strong companies and have lots of potential, and we will be covering them for you and providing analysis and insight and stock recommendations. So we hope you join us. Click on the invite button and sign up for our free newsletter. That's all you got to do to get it. So, JV, thanks for joining me on this video.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us.